great to see everybody from this perspective, and I feel really honored to have been asked to host this panel because this is our customers, and really dedicated customers with some great feedback for us, and I got comfortable chairs too, so that's nice. But who's making it happen for the customer? All right. That's the right answer. And what I'd love for you to do is, as you hear things, let's give these customers some appreciation and a little feedback the next few minutes. So thank you. So first, please help me welcome Evelyn Lahiji. Evelyn is Evelyn is the CEO of Children's Dental Fun Zone. Who knows them? Who knows them? Right, 17 locations. Evelyn has been in dentistry from the very beginning for over 30 years, which is remarkable because she's only 36. But she's seen it all. She's done it all. She's a CEO, and they have 17 practices. They're adding 3 to 5 more every year. But listen to this number. She sees 30,000 patients a month. So when we want some feedback whether something's working, she's the one to tell us. She uses Ascend, right? And a vast number of other of our products, Jarvis, WorldPay, Imaging, right? And all the rest. So very happy to have her. Our next guest is James Anderson. Round of applause for James. James is I don't know if he's an entrepreneur first or a dentist first, but dentist first. He's a dentist first. We're very happy to have him here, practicing dentist in Syracuse, Utah. Also founder of eAssist. So we're just very happy to have his feedback here. He also has a lifetime of experience and colleagues, and has been very helpful on the journey for us all. So we're going to ask them some questions, and appreciate that applause, and And so we have a little question first. Evelyn James called an icebreaker, and I think this is a really interesting question. It said if you could instantly invent a dream piece of technology to solve one challenge in dentistry, what would it be and why? No test later. So
thank you so much. Thank you for having me. First of all, it's such a pleasure being here. I have so many things when I was reading this, and I'm like, can I make it 5 or 6? But one of the things that I would love to be able to have and be able to do is making sure that we got the referral sources of where are my patients coming and who referred them, where are they coming from, how many of them, and more in depth with being connected to AI, where we could actually find out if the referral source is actually active. Is it a real dental office? Is it a real school that's referring? Whatever it is, to be more in depth with that. I think that would be helpful because this way I'd be able to put my money where it needs to be more and get more patients inside the door.
Outstanding, thank you. You guys taking notes? Thank you.
That's a great marketing approach. You got to have patients come in. The inflation's been a killer for dentists. Like our payroll has gone from, we used to pay our hygienists in Davis County, Utah, 33 3 years ago. Now we're 47. Our office managers, we were 25, now we're 39. Our cleanings were 69, and now they're 69. You see my point? Because we're locked into PPO contracts, and we can't get out. We know we're being ripped off. We know premiums have skyrocketed, and it's killing us. I'm actually losing money for the very first time. There's a few months here at Lakeview Dental because of all these variables. Like, it's really tough. So the dentist perspective right now is, look, we gotta find a way to get all of our rates up to where all the DSOs are pulling in a lot more than we are, and we know it. And it's driving us crazy. So if we had some technology, let me say one more thing. I have a son who's in New York, Rochester. Go Bills, right? So my daughter-in-law had to have her wisdom teeth taken out. I called and did a prescription for her because she had a post-operative infection, but she, it was $800 a tooth. I know I'm $212, I think, and it's the exact same procedure. Do you see my point? If we had some technology that could tell us if we're underpriced or overpriced, all automated, help us understand all the umbrella networks we've signed up for and which ones are ripping us off and lowering all of our fees down, so that we had the highest possible fee that an insurance company was paying to another dentist in my region, I want to be that dentist. I think I'm the lowest fee sometimes, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
So if we had some cool tech that just absolutely made sure we were dialed in on those PPO contracts, those umbrella networks, it would be a game changer for private practices.
Right? I think we got some folks who can help you with that, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, and this next question, actually, I think you might have touched on it, and feel free to go from there, but says, from your perspective as a practicing dentist and industry leader, what are the biggest challenges you think private practices face, particularly when they manage their revenue cycle?
Well, I still believe, so I've started 9 dental practices, and I still believe the hardest part, even when I started this journey 12 years ago, is finding good staff that knows how to do the revenue cycle. And most private dentists have never heard of that phrase before. The DSO world, they absolutely have, but they call it collections and production, and they don't understand that speak. So don't talk over their heads. Is the money coming in? Asking dentists, what's your over 90 insurance balance? If they don't know that answer, we absolutely can help them. You can help them with technology and with resources. But the biggest problem I see is finding staff members that know how to do it. Those that usually know how to do it are working for somebody else. Those that are looking for a job often have been fired by somebody else because they weren't managing the collections properly. And there was a moment where in one of my practices, I went through 6 different office managers, all the while I'm seating the crown, getting the margin just right, that's so hard, hearing, no offense, doc, but I hate you every day. It gets tiring. Trying to get the root canal down and make sure the gutta percha isn't coming out of the bottom of that apex, otherwise I'm in big trouble. And it's happened once or twice, but no, usually never. But you're just a real person trying to solve a problem. All the while, you delegate all the revenue cycle to one person in a small practice. And you hope that one person knows how to do it. And when they don't, you really struggle. You leave money on the table and you don't even realize how much is being written off because of yes, thank you. That's right. You don't even realize how much isn't being collected that could have been collected that's being adjusted down. If it wasn't adjusted and just appealed, it's amazing the extra tens of thousands of dollars a quarter a dentist can bring in. So that's number one. And then number 2 would be when you switch over from one PMS system to another and put on your sales hats, right? Ascend is where we got to go. The number one reason why I believe that my classmates and myself were concerned about a PMS switch is all of those outstanding claims that are not going to transfer over very nicely. And it doesn't, cowbell.
Yeah.
We need more cowbell.
Got that one.
But the problem I see is that if I'm on Open Dental or I'm on Curve or I'm on something, Dentrix even, I just know that there's going to be a mess that's going to require human beings to solve the problem. Or we fix the technology so it's super, super perfectly clean and doesn't have an issue. So I see those 2 big issues, finding the right staff and then making sure all your claims are going to be worked when you transfer over to a new PMS.
Great. And I think you already answered our next question, which is, as technology evolves, obviously finding the right staff with the right education and background is tricky, but how do you see technology and automation beginning to help you get an edge on those 2 issues?
Well, Mary, before I do that, can we ask Evelyn the same question? Just
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely, for sure. Yep. Yeah. So, from your perspective, what are the biggest challenges that you think private practices face today, especially around this revenue cycle? Love to have your input.
It's always training staff, making sure that you encourage them to understand the system and be passionate, be able to. My biggest thing in my company is we have a full-on training for every part of Ascend, Jarvis, Detect AI, anything that we bring on to our company. Before I roll it out, I have a bunch of trainers sit, analyze it, rewrite it, customize it for us, for my staff members to be able to read it and be able to roll it out and not have any mistakes. That's why I have Ascend down to the T. I don't want to miss any parts. I always say it's like having a cell phone, iPhone, that could search anything you want, and all you're using it for is making a phone call and receiving a phone call. What's the point of having such a world on your hands, so much information, but not using it to its max? So my biggest thing is being able to use things to its max and really digging and see how we could improve it. The beauty of Henry Schein One, the beauty of Ascend, Jarvis, all these softwares that I use all the time throughout the day is that they listen and they're open for criticism, for improvements, for me to be able to tell them, this doesn't work, can you change it? And they go fix it and come back. And it is such a pleasure to have that with us. There's so many ways, we're never perfect, obviously, and we could always look at it from a different eye. And when someone else is looking at it, they basically say, this is where you need to improve. And how do we stank and rank and see where we could put more ideas in it? Because if you're solving my problem, you're probably solving thousands of other dental offices also.
Yep, well said. Well said, thank you. And the follow-on question you've answered a little bit is, as it's for both of you, as you see technology evolves, where do you see more automation being able to help you, both in what you both mentioned? And feel free to kind of jump in here. What does the future look like 10 years from now on these problems?
I think everything is going to have AI in it, and which is great. I'm all for it. People are scared of it. If anything, learn it, jump into it, find out what is it. I mean, I'm putting myself in the shoe of people that are sitting here. And if I was sitting on that side, and if there would be one advice is every software that's out there, learn it from beginning to end. Watch it, experience it. Sit in a dental office, literally feel it, see what a DA goes through when they're trying to enter things. Try to find out if that front desk is actually having any issues when they're checking in or checking out on Ascent. When I'm looking at Jarvis and I want to be able to see everything in one shot, can it do that? And it does that. And if you don't see and experience it hands-on on the other shoe, then you won't be able to close that deal. You could present it all day long, but what happens if you're not closing it? It's like being a child and then being a parent. Once you become a parent, you're like, that 15-year-old is such an ass.
Hey, we can all relate.
I look at my son, I'm like, seriously? Are you that mean to me? And I remember I was that 15-year-old. So it's being on both sides. And unless you're on that side, you're not going to be able to see and feel it, because you could pitch it all day long, but you're not going to be able to close it.
Well said.
The two issues that I identified were, and I'll do them in reverse order now to answer the question. The first was when you switch over to a new PMS system like Ascend, we've got to fix the claim system, so all those tertiary claims, secondary claims, all the claims that are outstanding are all cleanly transferred, so it's like butter and it's as if you didn't miss a beat. That hasn't happened yet. And I know I am the CEO, founder of eAssist. We built eAssist to solve our own problems. I'm focusing this response with that hat on, because I know that we recently have been asked to help with some of the Ascend transitions when the claims are messy. You need human beings right now to solve that problem until the technology keeps up with it and solves it itself. And eAssist is there to do that. And when you go to close a sale, make sure those expectations are set properly, that there will be a problem with the claims, and that's okay. At the end of the day, you're gonna be much better off in 90 days. And we have a team of people, a very affordable team that can help you solve the problem. We bundle it with eAssist. We've done that now with many of your cells, and it's working. So we're here to help until Alan's vision is implemented, that everything is done by technology and there's no manual process. eAssist is here to help you with that. The second thing is for revenue cycle to really work, so it's not dependent on the office manager who's doing all the work. To Evelyn's point, there has to be learning about what insurance companies require what in their chart note, what will they pay for and how do you send it so it's cleanly received and paid on the first pass. That like intelligent thinking, driving deep on a claim and figuring it out, learning from the failures of other customers who've submitted claims and have those claims denied or downgraded, and then a human being appeals it successfully. It may take 2 or 3 appeals, but at the end of the day, even if they have to talk to the state insurance board, which has happened sometimes, the claim eventually gets paid. But the system should learn from all of that and proactively guide the biller, so that biller is a rock star, even if this is the first time they've ever billed a claim in their entire life. Like, this is the partnership that eAssist is doing with Henry Schein One. We actually have technology like that. We've been working on it for 4 years now. It's called Copilot. We took that name and registered it before Microsoft did, those dirty yeah.
It's a lively audience.
Copilot, dental billing AI. That's what our thing is. We bought dentalbilling.ai 6 years ago. We knew this was the vision, and we want to bundle it right inside of Ascend. And I know we're working on that contract. It's almost there. So that this is a tool for all Henry Schein customers to have deep AI using all our 2,000 billers that are learning and making mistakes and learning how to do it with all the claims we're processing for all the dentists all over the country. So when that day comes, we're already seeing incredible success with our pilot, a 40% increase in payment velocity for some of our smaller sample sizes, because the claims are not being denied on the first pass. Like, that technology, when it is there, and every single claim, 100% of the time, is paid on the first pass, and we know it before the insurance company denies it. Technology could even, if we're that confident, we could even pay the dentists for a premium to get paid in 24 hours.
That'd make them happy.
So that all of a sudden, we know they're gonna get paid because our technology is so smart that we know the insurance company is gonna pay us at the end of the day. So like, that's the vision where the AI can actually truly break through dental billing, and Copilot's gonna be the vehicle with Henry Schein One to solve the problem, in my opinion.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. And before we're out of time, Evelyn, I did want to ask you another question. Because you have a purview from a multi-location DSO, what operational challenges do you see on the RCM side, right? Because you have that purview. Anything you'd like to share?
For me, is whenever I come across a problem, I always try to solve it and be able to at least go around and get my answers. If I don't get it from somewhere, I'll have someone build. We've built other softwares to be able to help us. But my biggest thing is to open up one software and have everything right there. With a click of a button, go to Jarvis. With a click of a button, everything to be under the same roof. Why? Because it makes it much harder for my manager to log in, log out, log into this one, and then log into that one. So if I could have, it's like having a Mercedes-Benz and having the engine there and the review mirror and the back. Everything should be there. I shouldn't jump out and get the engine to come in and the back seat is missing. So to me, I want something that has everything under the same roof.
Yeah, outstanding. Well said. Well said. And we're about to wrap up our time, but I assume everybody took good notes. I heard some common themes, some really outstanding ideas, and excited to see they're pretty aligned with where we're headed. But please give a big round of applause for these folks for their time today. Thank you. And we're going to keep them